Hi guys, welcome to our online class. Due to some circumstances, as you know, we have to teach you online, and I hope it will work. Let's start from our tasks. I will give you some tasks to complete. I have provided you with some audios on Edmodo, and I want to show you some tasks with the help of PDF of your work. Of your textbook. You've got your textbooks, but following my PDF pages, I think will make your task completion easier. Let me start from your assignments. Let me show you. Okay. This is page 97. Actually, I have sent your monitor all the pages and exercise, but following these instructions, I think everything will be fine. Okay, let's start from exercise 9A. Actually, you will have to complete 9A and B. In exercise 9, actually, this is just the introduction. You have been given two idioms and their definitions, which you have to memorize and add this to the list in exercise B. In exercise B, you've got lots of, you see, bold idioms: pressed for time, cut it short, biding in time, and so on. These idioms are very popular and common. If you visit page, as you see in exercise C, if you visit pages 158 and 161, you can find all the definitions of your idioms in exercise 9B. Your task is to memorize all these idioms. If you have any problems with their meanings and maybe in your language, in Russian or Azeri, with their translations, please comment me on Edmodo. So if you visit pages 158 and 161, you can easily find them. They are under exercise 8.2. And then you switch to exercise 10. In exercise 10, you have sentences like, and in brackets, you have part of these idioms that you have just learned, like only one word, if the idiom is cut it short. But here you see in number 1, you have only the word cut. So you have been introduced only one part of the idiom, one word, let's say. And what you should do here, see the question. What would you say in these situations? Use the words in brackets. So if you are given a statement like, you need to stop a conversation, how would you say that in a different way, paraphrasing it and using your idiom cut? One example is given for you. Sorry, I'll have to cut this short. So this way you will have to complete the other 7 sentences. For example, the second one, your friend is talking too long to decide which job to take. So drag, you take the whole idiom of drag. Let's see, it's up here for dragging one's feet, or drag one's feet. Here it's in present continuous. So finding out what is drag your feet, you paraphrase this sentence and say it your own way, okay? Like it was done in exercise 1. So next, we go to page 98. 98. In 98, you have exercise 1, A and B. Let me zoom it a little bit. So you see exercise 1. Look at the pairs of adjectives. Are they similar or different in meaning? So you have pairs like supportive and unhelpful, diplomatic, tactful. So the only thing you have to do is to write S for similar or D for different. If you think this pair is different, you write D. If you think they are similar in meanings, you write S. That's not so difficult. I think you can easily fulfill this exercise. And in B, you have some questions, and they ask you to describe manners with the adjectives from above, from exercise 1A. So in B, you will have to answer them according to your A part. Which adjectives above describe your manner when you break bad news to someone? So you should choose one from exercise 1 and go on like this with the others coming next. So after that, you will switch to function on the same page. Function is it includes listening. Listen to conversation. Let's see, 3A. Listen to conversation and tick the tips in exercise 2B that the man follows. For this, you have to look the right column. Here you see in exercise 2B, we have some tips for talking things through. So you have 5 tips, and following this listening, you have to tick the ones that the man followed in the listening. So you listen carefully and try to find this from the list, okay? For now, we'll skip the speaking part, and we are working on it, how we can do the speaking part. Maybe in the next lessons, we'll organize something like through Skype or any other programs, and we can have our speaking lessons. Or in case it doesn't work, we'll go on with our speaking questions, debates, and other things when we start our real classes, not online, real classes in our university. I'll let you know later. So in exercise function 3A, you switch to B after A. You switch to B where you have some statements, 4 statements. While listening, you should find out whether these statements are true or false. So you put your T or F for each statement. Okay. Next is, we have to go a few pages up. 106. 106. 6. So here we have vocabulary exercise number 7. You see, number 7. It's connected with crime. You have a box with lots of words from crime, connected with crime. It's like pickpocketing, kidnapping, hacking. Do we know all the meanings of these words? Of course, maybe not all of them, but most of them you know. And you have to find out new meanings. Like, I think maybe you don't know what's counterfeiting, mugging. You have to find out, look them up in a dictionary. And after you find out their meanings, you can easily complete this exercise. These are newspaper extracts, and you have to read every extract and fill in the gaps in these sentences. The next step, but don't forget, every time you have vocabulary exercise, you memorize them all, learn them by heart. And if you pay attention to exercise 8A, here you have a table with crime, person, and verb, like action for this crime. For example, the first one is given as arson. The person is arsonist, and the verb is to commit arson. Okay, so you can go on like this with kidnapping, with mugging, and things like that. I would like you to complete this table too. Next, we go to page 107. Oh, I'm sorry, 106. We still go on with 106. No, 777. That's it. Okay. This part is called scam. What is scam? If you pay attention to exercise 1, vocabulary synonyms, in exercise 1, you have the full definition of the word scam. It's an informal one, a clever but dishonest way to get money. In Azeri, it will be like fırıldaqçılıq. In Russian, mошенничество. So you get money in a dishonest way. The vocabulary is broader in your B exercise. This is an extract from a TV program called The Real Hustle. Here, we don't usually normally do the reading part a lot, as it's listening comprehension and speech. You will just scan the text, and you see you have bold words. This is your new vocabulary. And to work with this vocabulary, you will go to C, exercise C, match meanings from 1 to 6 with 2 of the verbs and verb phrase involved in the program information. The first one is done for you. So they gave you one definition, and you have to find out the bold word from the above. Act as if you are someone else, pretend to be. Trick someone, so you go above and try to find which one is to trick someone. Maybe deceive, maybe fool, right? So after you find out a lot about the meanings of these verbs, about the meaning of this phrase and verbs too, you can easily complete your exercise C. That's it. And then we go to our exercise 2. We have a listening part here. This is again connected with this program. All you should do is to listen to this listening part and answer questions in exercise B. Listen and answer questions. Please, we'll do it in a written form. Write down your answers and submit your answers of this exercise and the other ones, like we have here tasks. Submit your assignments to me on Edmodo and get your feedback. And the next is page 121. Find the page. Takes time, I'm sorry. 1:4. Six, 5. 3, 22, 1. It's 10. It's unit 10. As here it's page 121, and we need size 6 and 7. Here. Here we have a vocabulary of two-part phrase. So we'll study words, phrases that consist of two parts. For example, in exercise 6a, you have been given two sentences, and they are phrased in bold, like do's and don'ts. There are some basic do's and don'ts when taking a good photo. So what are these do's and don'ts? Do's and don'ts mean that what you can do and what you cannot do. So what you are allowed to do or what you are not allowed to do. These, in short, are called do's and don'ts, like the rules of this place, the rules here, and so on. Or the second one, I've worked in the film business off and on for most of my life. So what is on and off? When we say switch on, switch off, we kind of start and we finish something, right? This is the way when you do something with intervals. So you start doing something, you switch on, and you finish it, you switch off. And when you do it periodically, we call it with off and on. Like, I've worked in the film business off and on for most of my life. So during the period of his life, he sometimes joined, sometimes he switched off, let's say. He finished doing something, and then sometime later again he joined. So this is called off and on. And if you pay attention to exercise 6b, you have the full definition of this phrase. Do's and don'ts, things that you should and shouldn't do, or off and on, or you can say it vice versa, on and off, for short periods of time, but not regularly, so with some intervals. After that, you go to exercise 7a. You have to match this two-part phrase, but you can say, how can I match if I don't know the meanings of this phrase? So you don't need to go and look them up in your dictionary. If you pay attention to exercise 8a, here they show you the pages. Actually, we do it role play during our lessons, but taking into account our situation, so we cannot do it right now. That's why I suggest you to go to pages 160 and 163. You can find out all the definitions of this two-part phrase. So they are under number 10.2 on pages 160 and 163. I can't go there because it's difficult to come back here again. That's why with your book you can easily do that. So you will find out all the definitions of this two-part phrase. After that, you will easily match this two-part phrase. And finishing that, you will switch to exercise 8a. Here you have sentences that you have to complete. You will use this two-part phrase in gaps. I think that's it. And if you also go to page 157, you see here additional follow-up activity, like we sometimes do with our vocabulary bank. We use the vocabulary bank as a follow-up activity. You will go to page 157, find exercise 3A and B. You do here, let me see it, yeah. Here you will Yes, you will complete the sentence with the words in the box. And then you will go to B and match the meanings with the two-part phrase in exercise 3A. These are additional two-part phrase. And as you remember, you also have this in your individual works. You have to work with vocabularies and find out more and more two-part phrase. And coming back to your first pages, could I add something more? Like on page 97, maybe it's harder for me to find it right now. If you, in your books, if you go to pages 97, at the bottom on the left, you have, again, vocabulary bank. Go to page 155. If you go to page 155, again, at the bottom, you have idioms, exercise 2A and B. In A, you have to study your bold phrase, idioms, and after studying in exercise B, you should match them with their definitions. Okay, actually, studying the definitions and reading the sentences, you can easily find the suitable, appropriate idiom according to the meaning of this sentence. So I think that's it for today's lesson. I hope you will do your best to complete these tasks, and I believe in your ability and your skills. You can easily complete these tasks, and I will be waiting for your completed tasks on Edmodo. Okay, guys, that's it. Have a nice day and Happy Novruz. See you soon.